Hello, so my name is Sneha Mangar, and I'm Assistant Professor of the Department of Political Science at Salesian College, Sunada. Today I will be talking of the various approaches to human nature, and these approaches define various theories in turn. Today I will be covering the realist view, the liberal view, and the critical view of human nature. This lesson would be very beneficial to the fourth semester students who have the paper International Relations. Let us begin with the realist view. So, according to the realist view, or as you can assume from the very name itself, realist. Human nature is the starting point for much realist analysis, so much so that classical realism has sometimes been portrayed as biological realism. This school of thought or this view of human nature, realist view, it is influenced by thinkers such as Hobbes and Machiavelli. Realists have embraced a theory of human nature that has three main features. So first, the essential core of human nature is fixed and given, fashioned by nature. So here nature refers basically to biological or genetic factors rather than by nurture. Here nurture basically refers to the influence of education or social factors generally. Second, instinct ultimately prevails over intellect. Human beings are driven by non-rational appetites, and non-rational appetites here are aversion, fear, hope, and desires, the strongest of which is the desire to exercise power over others. So intellect and reason may guide us in pursuing these appetites, but they do not define them in the first place. Third, as human beings are essentially self-seeking and egoistical, conflict between and amongst them is an unavoidable fact of life. Therefore, for classical realists, this human egoism determines state egoism and creates an international system that is inevitably characterized by rivalry and the pursuit of the national interest. Hopes for international cooperation and even perpetual peace are therefore a utopian delusion. So the meaning of utopian is something which is too perfect or a state of perfection. However, assumptions about human nature are peripheral within NeoRealism, in which rivalry and conflict is explained in terms of the structure of the international system rather than the makeup of individuals and therefore of states. This was the realist view. Next, we will come to the liberal view. So it should be noted here that since I am winding up this lesson, in a very crisp and short manner, just for those who are not acquainted with these various schools of thought, the next is the liberal view. This realist view, which was later contradicted by people from the same stream, was later referred to as a neo-realist. So basically we have the realist and then we have the neo-realist. So next we have the liberal view. Liberals have a broadly optimistic view of human nature. Humans are self-seeking and largely self-reliant creatures, but they are also governed by reason and are capable of personal self-development. This implies, on the one hand, that there is an underlying and unavoidable tendency towards rivalry and competition among individuals, groups, and in the international arena states. However, on the other hand, this tendency towards rivalry is contained by an underlying faith in a harmony of interest. So, for those who are not aware of this term harmony of interest, it means conflicts can and should be resolved, and by a preference for solving conflict through discussion, debate, and negotiation. Liberals therefore typically deplore the use of force and aggression. War is an example, is invariably seen as an option or the very last resort. So in this view, the use of force may be justified either on the grounds of self-defense or as a means of countering oppression, but always and only after reason and argument have failed. By contrast with the realist image of humans as ruthless power maximizers, liberals emphasize that there is a moral dimension to human nature most commonly reflected in the doctrine of human rights. This moral dimension is grounded in a strong faith in reason and progress. So, reason dictates that human beings treat each other with respect, guided by rationally based rules and principles. It also emphasizes the scope within human beings for personal development as individuals expand their understanding and refine their sensibilities, and thus for social progress. So, this was the liberal view. So, this liberal view was later countered by something called the neoliberals, similar to the realist. And next we come to the critical view. So this is a very modern, it's a very challenging view of human nature as compared to the previous two. So while both realists and liberals tend to believe that core aspects of human nature are unchanging and fixed at birth, critical theorists generally view human nature as plastic. So as the previous school of thought, that is a realist, they view human nature as innate, something which is constant, but this critical view, it assumes that human nature is moldable, just like we can mold plastic. In the nurture-nature debate, they therefore tend to favor nurture. So basically this has two key implications. First, it suggests a unifying vision of humans as social creatures, animated by common humanity and therefore cosmopolitan moral sensibilities. So critical theorists, for example, are often willing to go further than liberal internationalists in endorsing a one-world vision grounded in the ideas of global justice. The second implication of plasticity is that it highlights the extent to which economic, political, or cultural structures shape human identities, wants, and perceptions. As Marxists have put it, social beings determine consciousness. For social constructivists and post-structuralists, this may suggest that there is no such thing as human nature in the sense of a set of abiding tendencies or dispositions that apply in all circumstances and all societies. So, feminists usually embrace an androgynous model of human nature, implying that women and men share a common human nature and that gender differs are socially and culturally imposed. So, different feminists nevertheless hold that there are deep-rooted and perhaps even essential differences between women and men, such that men are disposed to competition and domination, while women naturally sympathetic and peaceful. So, a critical view also encompasses other very modern or very challenging school of thought. For instance, the constructivism, post-structuralism, feminism, green politics, post-colonialism, Marxism, neo-Marxism, So, this is the end of the various views of human nature, and these various views in turn have laid the foundation for various theories in international relations. So, as you know, theories are never constant. They are constantly being challenged by new school of thought. So, essentially, for those who want to explore political theory, it is very important to clearly understand, the various views that these theories endorse of human nature. So that will be it for today. Thank you.